What's up, guys? Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment show where we talk about movies, TV, and streaming services.
You guys clean this desk, right?
I'm Tim Gettys.
Every day with chemicals.
Cool.
That's
Perfect.
Kevin Coella. Joey Noel's here.
Hi.
And Nick Scarpino just spilled his iced coffee and then tried to slurp it off of the desk.
I think there's new paper towels over there.
That's gross.
Yeah.
God. You might be wondering why I'm hosting this show today. I'm hosting it because Kevin wanted to be on the panel of experts here to talk about To All the Boys I've Loved Before,
We did
baby.
it, guys.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. We did
Whole
it.
spoiler cast episode about two of maybe my favorite movies. You'll have to figure out.
You'll
when we get
have
the
to
end.
find out. But here's the thing. We do this show every week on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can also get it on youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, or podcast services. Just search for Kinda Funny Screencast. If you were to do that, we'd very much appreciate you leaving us some good reviews. The 2 thumbs up, the 5 stars, the 5 fingers, whatever it is, whatever service they got, whatever system they have.
Get in
Whether
there.
it might be 3 fingers, like Nick Scarpino has.
Yeah.
Make sure you give us all 3, though.
Make sure you go over to the Dobry Brothers store and leave them a bad comment because they haven't restocked their joggers yet either.
Why do you want to fight with people? I don't understand.
I want them to notice me, Kevin.
He just
I
wants
want them
to
to.
be noticed.
I need someone to witness my life.
Okay.
He's written a lot of letters to all the Dobry
Dobry
brothers I've loved before.
gosh.
Marcus and Aurelius and Maximus and Decimus.
Oh, man. Anyway, you can also go to patreon.com/kindafunny to get this show ad-free or to be able to write in all your little fun answers to the questions that Kevin puts out. Also, you can be a Patreon producer. And boy, golly, do we have a lot this month. Patreon producers this month include James Davis, David Mintel, the Mind Freak, Mohammed, Justin Toft, Drew Gardinier, Shiraz Razak, Jarrett Brown, Cassandra Ramirez, Ian Jacobs, Zachary Smith, Joseph Solar, Sean, I'm Brian Fellows. What? Morgan Goranson, the nanobiologist Frank Furter, Jameson Shafransky, Quaid Burnett, and the Predator himself, Al Tribesman.
Danny boy.
The show's brought to you by our sponsors, Honey, and Spotify presents The Besties. But more about that later. Last week, we did the Sonic Screencast
We did indeed.
episode
Full
of the show.
costume.
That was a lot to wait.
It was a lot.
The butt plug did not arrive in time.
Did not arrive in time, but the Butt Plug Company has reached out to us.
Do we
They
need
want
to put the-
partner? They want to work together and just
I heard
see
that we're
what's
supposed
up.
to put the butt plug on the set anytime Kevin's on the show.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Who took the butt plug home?
Blessing. Anyways, today we are talking about To All the Boys I've Loved Before and To All the Boys I've Loved Before. P.S. I still love you.
XOXO.
XOXO.
There it is.
Yeah.
I don't think those are there.
No?
No,
It's a long
the
title.
XOXO are
No
not
XOs,
there
no
for
XOs.
sure.
I.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, that's really
That's
how
what they call it in
should've
Europe.
Did they really?
No.
That would have been amazing. Because
No.
the people in Europe don't get that people think you can make a continuation of a movie series. They don't get it.
They don't?
done it.
I don't know. What the fuck are we?
Joey?
I got lost
Yes.
in this joke.
To All the Boys, what is this?
This is a young adult book series by an author named Jenny Han, and then Netflix turned it into these wonderful movies that we have the pleasure of being alive and watching.
So the first one came out, To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Yes,
Came out
in
2 years
August
ago.
of 2018.
There we go.
Mostly just because I
There
just
we
looked
go.
that up.
Yeah, well,
I
hey, you
did.
know it right off the top of your head.
Yeah, and they I remember seeing a trailer for it and being like, "Oh, this looks kind of cute," and I was just like, "Oh, I don't have anything else to do tonight. I'm gonna watch this." And then I was totally blown away, and then I never stopped talking about it.
How many times have you seen it since then?
Oh, I don't
Like,
know.
legitimately, if you had to guess, how many times have you seen the first movie?
I would say like 15.
Oh my
Because
God.
here's the thing.
Don't
So-
ever answer that. Don't ever
So here's
answer
the
like that
thing.
again.
I really like the movie, but then I also force other people to watch the movie with
naturally.
me. So like,
Did you force your family to watch it with you?
I feel like my mom and I probably watched it.
Nice.
Now, here's what I knew Joey and I were going to be the best friends of all time, the greatest friends of all time. Irrespective, that's not the word I'm looking for. Totally not for having had it recommended to me from Joey. I'm sitting down and I see this trailer pop up. It's like a Saturday afternoon. Me and Dee are having another one of our We Don't Want to Be a Part of Humanity Saturday afternoons. So we've just gone to Trader Joe's, not talked to anyone, and come right back.
Pulled up the flicks.
I'm making some. I pull it up and I'm like, this looks really cute. In the back of my brain, I'm like, this is really cute, but there's no way Dee's gonna let me watch this. And I look over, I was like, and she's like, do you want to watch that? I'm like, this is kismet, right? You start watching it, and do you remember? I was like, Joey,
Yeah.
I'm watching a movie called To All the Boys I Love, and and then it was just this ... Text. Noah Centineo, it's great. This
Yeah.
guy's great. Lana Condor, fantastic. Yeah,
What a dope name, by the way.
Lana Condor.
Lana
So
Condor.
cool.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
And so that's your experience with it, Nick.
Yeah, just random. I had no real understanding of the movie beforehand, but the trailer was so cute on Netflix. And it's like, to me, it's like Netflix has that sweet spot of it could be an endearingly cute kind of Netflix original, or it could be terrible. There's nothing that's ever really in that category that's like phenomenal. So you're like, okay, this is a perfect Saturday afternoon before you're gonna go out, or maybe Sunday you're trying to chill and just hang out movie. And when I started watching, I was like, actually, you know what? This is actually very well made. Lana Condor is so fun to watch. She's the most charming thing I've seen on screen in a very, very long time, until Noah Centineo came on screen. Then I was like, fuck you, Lana Condor. You can die in a fire.
Wow.
Because this kid's little scar that he's got
It's
on his
this or
thing
that.
is everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
He needs to be in all of the movies now, Nick.
Yeah.
He should be in
He
every movie.
pretty much
is.
So, Joey.
Yeah.
Then there's the third movie coming
Yes.
out. To All the Boys, Always and Forever. Laura Jean.
Yes, that's correct.
What's the deets on that?
I mean, I only really know top level because I only read the first book. But it's about them going into their senior year and then like figuring out like college and what they're gonna do and if they're gonna stay together and all this stuff.
So to recap the first movie for anyone who hasn't seen it, have you seen it?
Well,
You've
before
seen
we
it.
even get into all that stuff, like, yeah, so you only read the first book. Mm-hmm. So how similar do the movies follow the books?
The first one's like pretty similar. The only thing is timing wise, like them getting together doesn't happen until the second book, from what I've heard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a much better ending.
And then I know like some of the details that they changed for the second one that weren't in the movie, but I liked the movie so much that I didn't want to like
So-
Go back
get
and
that
get the
way.
books.
I didn't want to be like nitpicky about like
You
You don't want to be
well,
Lord
this
of the
isn't
Ringsy?
it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
what-
they didn't
what about
sing
you?
in this.
So Joey's been recommending this for so long that it's kind of been one of those movies like, oh, I want to check it out. But every time I'm like, I feel like the pressure on it is too high, where I'm going to watch it and be like, I don't know, maybe Joey's crazy. And then this weekend I was like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch both movies. And they're very enjoyable.
They are.
I really enjoy them, yeah.
So did you watch them like literally back to back? or-
Yeah.
Wow.
And like,
Oh, that's
I
a
gotta
lot.
say, it's a great way to watch it.
Double
Really?
feature?
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it first came out, I watched it. I watched all these Netflix movies. Like,
Yeah.
and my thing is, I don't think this one's a standout. I think that so many of them are so similar, and Noah Centineo is in all of them, Nick.
He's in
Get out.
You need to
3
watch
of them.
You can
He's in
leave.
3 of them. He's in 3 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
he
They're all
is
kind of
legitimately
different.
he's legitimately carved out a career for himself as being
just
the
that guy.
guy,
He's
the
the
face of
internet's
the young
boyfriend is
adult.
what they
yeah.
call him.
and
It's
he's
amazing.
good at it. Like, that's the thing is, like, he
Super
fits this
charming,
role
man.
so well. And I do like Lana Condor. I think that
Yeah.
she's a lot of fun. And I think a lot of the actors and actresses
Jubilee,
in
man.
this one. Yeah, Jubilee
Oh, right,
from the hit
for-
movie Days of Future Past.
Oh,
No,
poor
that's not
Lana.
right. It was the next one.
Yeah,
it was
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Yeah,
Apocalypse,
for 5
yeah.
seconds.
She was great though.
But then yeah,
she
then
makes
the
fireworks.
second movie came out last week, and so I hadn't seen the first one since I first watched it. And I was like, I want to get refamiliarized with
Yeah.
this. So I rewatched it, and then the next day watched the second one, which I do think is a good way to watch these because it really is a direct continuation. However, there are some things that confuse the living fuck out of me, including the post-credit scene
Oh yeah.
where they introduce a character and then that character never shows up in the other one because they recast him.
Was it John Ambrose?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
post-credit scene is John Ambrose showing up to the door with like his letter, but it's some like random kid.
And it confused the hell out of me because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm losing track of how many boys she's loved before.
Right? It
And
was-
I'm
doing
just
the
like,
math,
I'm
be like,
like,
wait,
when's
there's
that
5.
other kid
Two
going to
of them
show
didn't-
up?
yeah.
But
So
what
is,
happened
is
there?
that non-canon
I
anymore?
think they just didn't know if I don't think they thought that it was going to be as big of a hit as it was, I would assume, and just wanted to put that tease in for like probably people that had read the books. And then because the movie really did blow up in kind of a weird way, they were like, "Oh shoot, we can actually make a second one." And that
We
we
can
did.
get a bigger actor. Probably
Yeah,
for
bigger
it, though.
actors.
and I'm glad they did because I like
it's more
the
established.
John Ambrose.
Jordan
character.
Fisher.
Jordan
I love
Fisher,
him.
yeah.
Who's Jordan Fisher, Joey?
Jordan Fisher. Nick asked me this earlier today.
I was like, who's now? Normally, Tim, if I was like, hey, who's James Marsden? You'd be like, oh, he's that
Stupid
idiot
face.
that played with a stupid face and he played Cyclops. She goes, oh, let me tell you, he was born in Kentucky, Alabama. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
He does a lot of TV stuff.
Kentucky,
so-
Alabama.
Nope. Yeah. I was hoping I could just slide that past, but like, nobody never saw that
Alabama might
one.
have a city
But I
named
meant
Kentucky.
Kansas City, Missouri, but it came out Kentucky, Alabama. 2 different states. That's
we know him from Teen Beach Movie,
Wow,
a Disney
the Disney
Channel
Channel
original movie. Then he did a lot of TV stuff that I wasn't super familiar with. He did a lot. He did like Grease Live, which is those like live musicals that they do
Love
on
it.
network. He won Dancing with the Stars
Hell
a few
yeah,
seasons
he
ago.
did.
And most importantly, he was in Until Dawn. He's like a really big video game fan.
You know that it kind of feels like cheating if you're a professional Broadway performer and you go on Dancing with the Stars and fuck people up. But that's awesome.
But he was really good.
That's pretty cool.
And then it's better when other people just win because they're that damn talented.
Hashtag
Shout out to Hannah B.
Hannah B.
Best bachelorette of all time, who won
true.
Dancing with the Stars, baby. First place. Let's go.
All right.
I want them to do an all-star season so we can have them both dancing against each other.
We're not talking about that fucking garbage
Anyways,
heap called
also-
Bachelorette. We're talking about grade A prime filmmaking to all the
To all the
boys I've
boys.
loved before.
He
The
was also on
franchise.
Broadway. He
course
was
he
in
was.
Hamilton.
Yeah, he
and
was in
right
Hamilton.
now
Holy
he
shit.
is in Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway.
That's fun. He's got a good career.
Yeah, and then he like streams on Twitch and does like a bunch of Fortnite stuff.
We
He's
need
like
to get him on this
very-
show.
I know.
I want to get him on the
Jordan
show, and
Fisher,
I just want to ask
I'm
him
sure
what
you're not
Lana
watching this,
Condor's
but
like.
if you are, come to San Francisco. Lana
Jordan.
Condor, come to San Francisco.
Come on, let's go.
Come on.
This is
Lana.
like my dream. Noah Centineo, come to San Francisco.
No,
This
run
is my
away, run away.
dream.
No, I'll be
wanna
honest with
do-
you.
Because of Nick.
I wanna
No, if
do-
Noah Centineo comes to San Francisco, I'm leaving
have
with
cool
him.
friends.
That's how it's going.
with everybody. So
Oh, that'd be
bad.
amazing. That'd be
So
really
to be
fun.
clear, these are Netflix movies. Anyone can watch them on Netflix right now.
The first one is actually free to watch even without a Netflix account.
That's how they get you.
That's how they
Because
get
they
you.
have that
They know it's
post credit
good.
scene. You're like, I can't stop now.
They know it's good, man.
I gotta keep going.
It's so fun.
So yeah, let's get into it. What do we think about these movies, Nick?
I love them. I think we were talking earlier, and I think one of the things I like about them is that Netflix is committing to making all of them their full length movies. They don't feel like they're too long, too short. But it's interesting because Netflix has the opportunity to make actually decent movies and then make 3 of them and have them actually tell a cool story over the span of like 6 hours, which I really, really like. This I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it if it was a show, if it was a series. I think it would still work. But I like that they're just like, we're committing to the 2-hour format. We're gonna make 3 of them. It reminds me of like what the British would do with like Sherlock, where they're like, we're just gonna make 3-hour long or 2-hour long things. That's the show. This is it. It's a cool way to tell stories that we don't normally get in America. And I think the fact that it's based on source material really helps it. I think the fact that that's a book series that actually is kind of well crafted. I haven't read them, but I feel like the stories kind of are cohesive and universal because it obviously appeals to a 40-year-old man.
Totally.
I think it's good, and I think shout out to the casting director who brought in Lana Condor and Noah and all these kids because they at first glance you're like, oh god, this is just the fucking Maze Runner 2.0 or the Hunger Games, but they're actually like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you look at it, you're like, this is gonna be a dumb young adult thing,
Yeah.
but they're actually very endearing and very charming. And like Lana Condor is just, I could watch her fucking knit a scarf for 2.5 hours, and be like, she's just darling. She's just darling.
She started a
And her
YouTube
little
channel.
outfits, dude.
Oh, she's
shout out
dialed.
to the bomber
Oh, no.
jacket. Shout out
Oh
to
my
the
gosh.
little like collar thing going on. Good
Dee
for
was
you.
like beside herself with how well they dressed her in this movie. She was like, she's like, I want
Yeah.
her entire wardrobe. It's really
Dope.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I love these movies. I think they're like really, really good teen rom-coms, which I feel like we didn't get for kind of a while. I feel like we had a lot of them in the 90s with like She's All That and Drive Me Crazy and all that stuff. And then I feel like we didn't have, I mean, I guess we kind of pivoted more to like Nicholas Sparks with like A Walk to Remember where they got like really melodramatic.
What's great about these is they're a little self-aware and they're very critical, so that you can tell that it's written from like a, hey, let's try to make these characters as three-dimensional as possible, but it's also a little bit of a critique, or not a critique, but like an homage to prior movies like this.
Yeah.
Specifically with, I don't know if you guys realize how this one started off, but I was like, there's no better way to get me back into your movie franchise than starting off with a fucking blatant homage to Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I heard that song and I was like, that's the song from Adventures in Babysitting. And then she slides in and starts singing to the mirror. I was like, they're fucking doing Adventures. And then the little sister goes, are you doing Adventures of Babysitting? And I was like, did they make this movie for me? What is happening?
Here's my thing. Shout out to the little sister. I can see people not liking her, and there's one person who shall not be named. But if I like, for the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna name her Gia. Okay, all right. Like, let's just say this Gia person like doesn't like this little sister. I don't understand it. She's fantastic.
I get it,
the
'cause
best character.
She's made to skirt the line. To like any more annoying, and she's like horrible. But like they did such a good job. But some people can be more sensitive to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
think
like
she's
every once in a while
perfect.
she'll say something, and I'll be like, ugh. But like 90% of the time I'm fine.
Sisters, dude,
yeah,
little
yeah, no,
brothers,
but that's
like, I love
exactly
it.
right.
They nailed it. And it's those type of relationships that I really enjoy, and I feel like make this world feel a bit more like deserved than some of these other movies where it's just like they build the sister enough in her relationship with the boys that I'm like, okay, I actually really believe this. Like, I understand how they all feel. Although, I feel like the second movie was just like the older sister.
But
She was so important, but she's not even here at
she's
all.
in Scotland.
And-
She's
but like
at school.
But then the other boy that she loved before.
Josh. Yeah.
Where
he's
was
just
he?
gone.
The neighbor.
Did-
He was the neighbor.
But did they get back together?
No.
Okay.
No, bro.
Because I felt like there was a moment where she was like, "Oh, Josh is gonna come visit or something."
Oh, maybe.
But that boy,
Uh-huh.
the neighbor boy,
Yeah.
is the boy from Happy Death Day.
Yes,
Oh,
he is.
yeah.
And he's great in that too.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's got a
So
new good
good.
series. Go watch Happy Death Day 1 and 2. They're
Exactly.
fucking
They're
phenomenal.
so good.
It's so
Yeah.
fun.
I'd put these in similar categories where I'm
Definitely.
just like, I really
They might
enjoy
be
them.
in the same universe
And
for all
they-
we know.
Oh my god!
Maybe he went to college and this happened to him.
That's hella
Holy
funny.
shit.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. No, I mean, again, that kid's great. The casting in this is
John
just fun.
Corbett too is so fun.
Oh my god, dude, that guy got.
Is that the dad?
Yeah.
Dude.
How is he still that
Perfect
good
dad.
looking? What's going on?
I don't know. And I really also like the best friend, whose name I can't remember right now offhand.
I like there's a moment in this. Spoilers a little bit. Are we getting into spoilers in this and all?
I mean,
There's a moment where like the dad has this relationship kind of with the next door neighbor, and the daughters see it, and like and the little girl sends her a Valentine's card, and I'm
Good.
like,
She's a
oh, I'm
little
like,
shit starter.
and in
I
the
love
back
it.
of my mind, I'm like, if this were a lesser movie, it would be a fucking problem, right?
Yeah.
But they have that just one line where she's like, hey, I just wanted to tell you, like, my little sister sent you that card, and the woman goes, you mean your dad didn't send me a handmade glitter card? Like for
Addressed to
Valentine's Day?
Mrs. whatever her
addressed
name
to
is,
my
yeah.
Mrs. So-and-so. He's like, whoa, I'm shocked. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
this movie's
yeah,
smarter than
yeah,
it needs
yeah,
to be.
yeah.
It does that.
That's
It does that
great.
in a good way. It's endearing and like kind of breaks the like the illusion that it's a movie in like those little moments with like the sister sliding in and being
Yeah.
like, "Are you doing that scene from the Adventures of the
Adventures of
Babysitter?"
Babysitter, yeah, it's
or
fun.
that, and it's just like it does that so well, and it makes it lovable.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the Alana Condor.
Yeah.
She's just such a lovable character that kind of reminds you like her talking about these letters and how she wanted to like the purpose of them is just such a thing of like, man, that's powerful, and it makes you kind of reflect on like your childhood crushes and kind of be like, I wish I had done that. You know, kind
Was
of
the
thing.
idea for closure originally? I haven't watched the first one in a long time. Why did she write the letters originally?
It's like she had all of these emotions that she couldn't express to them like verbally, so she wrote these
them down.
letters.
Yeah.
But she never mailed them, and then
No.
No.
She
So
was
for
just-
anyone who's
she was
never
keeping
She was
seen
never.
the
They
first
were
one.
never
wanted-
meant to be.
She wanted to be reminded of all these
she
emotions that
felt-
she's feeling
yeah.
and like how powerful she could be in
Yeah.
that way. And I like
Love
that.
it, right?
That hit me so hard. Where it was like, oh man, I remember my childhood crushes.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So top level pitch of the first movie is there's this girl that is in high school and she wrote 5 letters to all the
She keeps
different
waking
boys.
up every morning after she dies. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Yeah, and she wrote 5 letters to all the boys that she has loved before in her life, and it's from things as small as like from spin the bottle incident all the way up to like a current crush that she has.
Yeah, all the way
Thing
from- yeah.
is,
She wrote those when
she
she
wrote
was a kid.
she wrote them all as
At
it was
time.
happening, put them in this little box. And the current one is her older sister's boyfriend, which that shit gets a little bit dicey,
Little hairy.
right? Then things get crazy when the little sister accidentally or on purpose for her mails out the letters to
Which
the
we
boys.
don't even know that it's the little sister. We just know they get mailed out.
And then
Which also was a good setup of like, oh, all this shit's going out to Goodwill. And it's like, how did you put the box in there?
Yeah.
And then later when they're like, oh,
That's right.
no, maybe
It
they
was
didn't.
Kitty.
Yeah.
So shit gets fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
And from there, it's just fun, relatable high school
So fun.
hijinks
Right.
of love and hot tubs, dude. Nothing says high school love more than a hot tub on a ski trip.
Oof, man, I had a hot tub experience after prom one time. It was steamy.
That sounds nasty.
I had to clean a hot tub.
Oh,
No, I'm
God.
joking. I'm kidding about that.
Jesus.
Was Matt involved?
No, God, no, thank God. My brother, you would believe that my brother didn't go. Actually, you would believe my brother went to my prom, but he did not. He was a good 5 years older than me, so that would have been
Still,
creepy.
none of that.
I enjoy these movies quite a bit. I do not think that they are good, and I don't even quite understand why they've kind of transcended beyond all the other trash. And I mean trash lovingly. I will watch these till the day that I die, but I do think that it comes down to there being a book series and a pre-established kind of canon and storyline that they're following, and they are doing such a good job with casting where it's like they have these relatable characters, and they're like, how can we make them charming on screen? And that to me,
And
I'm
they're
like,
nailing it,
there's
yeah.
that, and they're nailing it, entirely nailing it. Like even the dad is endearing. It's like
Yeah.
you when
But
he
I mean,
talks,
he's
you're like,
Aiden,
I buy
you know?
Sarah Jessica Parker should have
Yeah.
gotten with him. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I'm saying.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
But she did it at the end. No, you're right.
she
She
gets
says
with
Miss
Mr.
Big.
Mr.
But
Big.
there's a YouTube quality to this entire thing.
Well, that's because
It's
awesomeness,
films,
right?
Yeah, and it's like I can't.
Sorry, who's awesome?
Awesomeness Films is a YouTube production company.
Okay.
So
essentially.
Awesomeness
And
TV.
Awesomeness TV. This is
Yeah,
Awesomeness
okay.
Films. It's the same company.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when they make movies, they call it films.
That's smart.
But it still has that quality of YouTube where everything is colored in this way. Where
The
it's-
color palette is really cool. I really like it.
The thing is, it's cool, but it's super YouTube, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's
But
not
it's-
necessarily
but it's-
a criticism.
Yeah.
it's just apparent, and you can't get out of it. And the whole
I
time,
like it.
growing up
Me
watching
too.
like Wong Fu Productions, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite YouTube channels, I'm watching this. I'm like, this just seems like a bad Wong Fu video. And then the funny thing about that is, Wong Fu then just did a parody of it. It's
Oh my
called "To All the
gosh.
Kevins I've Loved Before."
Oh, I did see that. I haven't
And
watched it yet though.
I didn't watch it. I just kind of like hit play on it and watched maybe 30 seconds. And it's hilarious where it looks probably better than the movie. And I'm just like, damn, we just hit this point where it's like
the lines are just
the lines
blurred.
are just blurred. And it's like, that again, not that that's a major criticism, but I do think that comparing this movie to a lot of the other ones feel a bit more filmic. Like they feel a bit more like actual
Which way? What, you mean the
movies.
other Netflix original movies?
Yeah.
See, I think that this is like 1% better than those, which is why I like them. Like I've tried to watch. I haven't watched all the rom-coms on there, but like the one movie I tried to watch that keeps popping up in my mind is the guys that the Workaholics guys that did that
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
and I just
Game
the
Over.
hotel one?
yeah, the
Game
hotel
Over.
one, and I was like, this. I'm like, this is like a YouTube video. Like this is like someone who has never shot. They didn't
That's not
bother
the one
to
with
get.
Alexandra Daddario, is it?
I have no idea
No.
because I got 5 minutes into it, and I was like, I
don't
can't
think
watch
so.
this fucking
I watched
movie.
that entire movie.
The time
It
travel
might be one of the
photo
worst
booth.
movies I've ever seen.
I enjoy
Is
that
this the
movie
time traveling
so much.
photo booth one?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Damn,
That
what
was bad,
fucking
too.
movie is that? That sounds
That's,
awesome.
it
that
has
movie's
the other
fucking
Workaholics
terrible.
guy. It has Adam Devine.
That
That's
movie-
Adam Devine with.
Oh, that was
But,
terrible.
That was a
With
real
Tucker.
movie, like
Yeah.
right? That came out. In
That was the
theaters.
Alexander
No.
Daddario.
No?
No, it was
Okay,
Netflix.
that was terrible.
So to me, like what I think that what they do so well with this is that they give you sort of a tried and true coming of age teen story, but they do it in a way that's kind of it's creative. So they give you exactly what you've seen before, but just a little bit different, which is great. And I think the quality of it is just like a couple steps above where it needs to be for it to resonate in my brain as like, this is a real movie. Because like this could have very easily been a Hallmark series starring what's her name from Full House, Cameras Cannon Burr from Full House, and like you're like, I don't know how they're gonna recast her as a
she?
teenager, but she'd be the mom or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
or the
there
next
was
door
no
neighbor.
mom.
No, but
Wait, here's speaking on that though.
Yeah.
Like we're complimenting the casting, and I feel like 99% of the time it's like you fucking nailed it. Why is the older sister, who is just going to college, a 40-year-old woman?
No, she's not.
In
No.
real life, how old do you think she is?
She's probably my age, 31.
She's like 34.
Yeah.
Is she really?
Yeah.
But she
She
was.
looks great.
But here's the
She
thing:
looks
they
great.
casted
She
her
looks
on.
great. She
She looks
doesn't
like an
look
older
like
sister.
a
She was on Pretty Little
18-year-old.
Liars, so this is like kind of in her genre of stuff that she's done.
It's just
and it's probably
immediately I'm like, I don't buy this.
She
You're an
looked
older
to me
woman.
though.
That's
She looked
amazing.
Latin, and no one else does. And I was confused about that, but like that was the just like
don't
just put
think
it
she
on the
is.
side. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she looked to me Latin.
I'm pretty sure they like made a point of casting everybody.
Korean.
They're not Korean; they're all Asian American.
Huh.
what's Lana Condor?
Oh, I don't know.
We can look it up. But either way, I mean, again, I like that. I like that angle on it too. That's something that I personally haven't seen. Like someone like because it plays into it, but it doesn't play into it in a way that like that doesn't feel organic. I like in this movie how they're celebrating the mom by going to like they have the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and they do the thing at the beginning of it. That's a traditional Korean
And
American
then
or Korean.
John Corbett looks at her picture and gets all sad, and I was like,
oh.
First off, by the way, I'd have been like, that's a big red flag. I can't date this dude. Like, he's clearly still in love with his dead wife. And now I'm
Thanksgiving, that was
having
real cute,
That was
or
really,
whatever
really
they
cute.
call it.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think- was it not Thanksgiving?
Fake skinny.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Also,
great.
whoever does their signage for the school, really,
gosh.
really good. I was
I
like,
like
those
that
are
stuff.
lit. Those
That
are
was
dope.
fun.
No, I mean, you guys talk about the bright, poppy nature of it. I mean, obviously that's a production choice, and that's done on purpose, and I think it really, really works for this.
I love it.
Because what it does is it says like, yeah, we're gonna get a little deep, but it's not gonna go too crazy, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be poppy, and I think all the choices with her wardrobe and all that stuff really kind of just makes this fun experience. And then and this is a shout out to Lana Condor, is that there's some stuff that happens in this movie where if it were not a likable actress, you'd be like, oh, that's
Well, she
fucked
makes
up.
horrible decisions.
Yes.
It's like she's not a likable
little
character,
kid, you
man.
know?
But that's like
but
what
I buy it.
everybody
Right.
does
But
in
that's
high
the thing is
school.
like they do a good job with that, where it's like she's so endearing and does such a good job presenting it that I don't hate her. I should hate her, and like
Yeah.
that is the credit.
What you do is you empathize with her, which is
Yeah.
harder to do. Like it would be very easy if that was a different person who wasn't as likable or didn't nail the character as much. You'd be like, I don't buy this. I don't buy the ending of this. I don't like that what happens at the end, and then she comes out and sees him. You're like, that could have gone two separate ways for me. But the fact that she's so endearing and so honest, she comes across so honest on screen. You put yourself in that situation. You feel like you're going through that with her, and you empathize. You kind of
let me
go
put
like,
something out
I get
there for
it.
you guys. All right. How much did you feel it in your goddamn soul when that bitch took the fucking hair thing and put it on her arm? I was like,
When she took
oh,
it,
this is gonna hit hard. And then when she does it to Lana, I was like,
It's
no.
so heartbreaking.
Yeah, man, that's the most.
I don't
fucked
understand
up
why he
shit.
let her take it.
I don't either. Do you know
That-
though that because of this movie, like it's a thing now with like middle school and high schoolers that they wear scrunchies from their girlfriend.
Love that.
It's
Wow.
This is what I find
Cultural
from like
phenomenon,
scrolling
man.
TikTok and stuff like that. But I also really love.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Is
Nick?
that from the first one?
Yeah.
the first
yeah,
one?
I barely remember it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What
so
happened?
set,
At the
like
party.
spoilers for a bit of the first movie here, but they're at a party and it's the ex-girlfriend of Noah Centineo,
Right.
Jen, who was also ex-best friends with the main
Lance
character.
Onward.
Right.
And she goes and finds him like in the bathroom and like takes
He has the scrunchie.
has-
He took the
Lana's
scrunchie from her
scrunchie.
because she came in and he's like, no, you should
I
have
like
your
your
hair
hair
down.
down.
It'll look cool that way.
and he has it and then she takes it
And she's like, oh, it's my mom's
puts it on,
scrunchie. I
and
love
then
it.
After the ski trip, she like shows Lana that she has it.
So
and
for
it's just
3
like-
months, she forgot it existed.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
yeah,
yeah, it's fucked up.
But like speaking of that, right? Like, and we're getting into spoiler territory here a little bit,
Yeah,
obviously.
pretty much from here on out, it's full spoilers. Like we recommend watching this movie.
Right.
Go check them out.
We're at the very, very end of the second movie. She's in the treehouse and she calls someone. You don't know who it is. Obviously, it's done to build a little drama and tension. And my wife's watching it. She goes, "I hope it's the best friend. I hope it's her because she recognized that like that was the relationship that needed to be mended.
Yeah.
That they had like she had done something terrible to her female best friend, and that was why she was having all these problems. I didn't pick up on it. I was like, everything's fine. It's totally great. And the best friend gets out there. I was like, oh fuck
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah,
like
that
that's
was
a
a good moment.
relationship
That
that
hit
needs
good.
to be.
Great moment.
And that was a really poignant moment for me too. Where I was like, shit, man. And it turns out she put the same thing in the time capsule,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. And then it's like sad though because you're like, you're probably not gonna still be best friends after this because
No,
the
'cause
relationship's
Jen kinda
irrevocably kind of.
But like,
torn apart.
it's so interesting that this movie does such a good job setting up. Like Jen sucks. Like the first movie, she just sucks. And in the second movie, we get a little bit more of like she sucks because she was hurt by that incident that happened.
it was
And
terrible.
like I get it. That's such a middle school thing to happen.
That's a very
And
human
for-
thing, right?
Yeah, for people
Yeah.
to hold on to that anger so long.
However, she turned pure evil, man.
I mean, that's what kids
The
do.
video?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that-
You tell me you didn't do pure evil things
that's
in
the thing,
high
you-
school?
you can hate that person, but
Yeah.
I feel like she's just evil, pure. Like although she's the
No,
Emperor
she's
Palpatine
just-
levels,
she's
man.
just hurt, and you gotta. Sometimes you gotta take revenge, and 5 steps.
And it's like
Yeah.
a lot of work to get you to like kind of recognize like where she's coming from. And I feel like that conversation did a lot for that of like, it's this character that you are set up not to like ever.
Right.
And now you kind of end up being like, I get it and I understand.
And also they have the concept of like, they set it up where I think they do a really good job in this one of keeping your interest because she's going through all these emotions, she's going through all these insecurities, and then when she sees them together, that's like the final straw where she's like, you're never gonna not like this person, and it's not until she realizes that her friend or her ex-friend is going through this horrible thing with her parents getting a divorce, and she can't possibly understand that. That it humanizes her and really gives her a dimension of like, oh, there's some growth there as well. And so it's almost like I don't believe that they're ever going to be like the bestest of friends ever again. But having that one human, like real moment where they're like, I've done something wrong to you, and you're also going through this other thing, and it almost Like, there's so much stuff happening here that I just want to apologize to you for, and having her like be receptive to that, and then realizing, hey, at one point we loved each other, we were friends,
Yeah.
and I accept your apology, and that's it. That's all it's going to be. Was really cool. But then there is that high school shit of like, who brought the pizza, and it's like, why did I bring the fucking pizza? You know, and it's like you remember those stupid, petty arguments that
Yeah, but at the same
sometimes
time-
you're still having to this day.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like,
you know,
Yeah.
she was hiding information. Like she was acting like
Well,
they
she-
weren't friends.
she
She's
has that
hiding
one-
information from both of us.
Yeah.
She has that moment where she's like, it wasn't until I saw both of them that I realized this is a terrible idea. She was like, oh my God,
It's
why would I
those
do
little
this?
asides that are so good and makes
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
character so lovable.
She's also in an adorable pink coat.
Oh my gosh.
That wool coat's
All
in
of
there.
her costuming is so good in this movie.
Really quick, I forget if you guys brought this up of like the build up to like them having that human moment together. I loved because the way they frame it, like because Alyssa had seen it already and she's read the books. And it was one of those things where you only see the text message. You don't see who she's sending it to. Of like, can you meet at the treehouse? I'm like, fuck, who's she texting? I don't want it to be Jordan Fisher. I want it to be my boy Noah. And then it like totally left turn of like, no, let's have this like moment between us. And it was like, oh shit.
That
I
was
really
a
like
cool
that.
moment that where like
Yeah.
flips your expectations,
Yeah.
but at the same time immediately makes sense. Where you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
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 I didn't like the woman character, the one from Legally Blonde.
oh, you didn't
love
like her,
It's, like
Stormy?
it's like an inappropriate relationship.
Bro,
with
she's
these
getting that
kids,
dick
man.
in that fucking.
Okay, so I will
old
say,
person's home.
I will
She's
say
getting
in the
after it,
book,
man.
John Ambrose is supposed to be Stormy's grandson, which is why he ends up at Bellevue. And I wish that they would have
Got
kept
it.
it because I feel like it
I
would
like
have
that a lot
made
better.
way more sense as to why they were there.
That could have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked her. She's like eccentric and like had fun. I don't know. I think she's fun.
Dude,
To me, she was too much of a movie character where it's like people don't exist.
But that's
like
what
this.
kind
Yeah.
Holland Taylor. That's what her name is.
Yeah, she was great. I'm with Kevin on this too, where she was like, she's such a good actor, and she did feel a little bit out of place. Where you're like, this is like a fairy tale grandma character that you would introduce in here,
Yeah.
and also this place they're at. I'm like, this is not how old people are, man.
No.
they don't have this
it's
much fun.
Crazy. I was like looking at all the furniture, like, oh, I like this.
I know. I was like,
Yeah,
I'd
it was
move into that
really
room. And then when they go to her room and it's
All
like
the
a
sets
fucking
are so well
1,200
decorated,
square foot
right?
room, I'm like, I would move into this place in a
The
heartbeat.
walls, the way she has it painted, it's like,
was gorgeous.
Oh, let's take some pictures. Write this down.
I literally, like, the only thing that threw me off was it was called Bellevue, which I swear to God is the name of an insane asylum in something.
That sounds right.
Doesn't it? Bellevue? Like
Yeah.
when you say Bellevue Hospital, doesn't that? I swear to God, there's a fictional work where it's like, that's like
think that-
crazy, a loony bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either.
But
Before
anyway.
we continue, let
Yeah.
me tell you this episode is brought to you by Honey. Online shopping is supposed to be easy. So why is it so hard to find coupon codes that actually work? Thanks to Honey, it doesn't have to be. Ain't that right, Kev?
Yep.
For many, many years, Kevin and I, and Joey as well,
Yeah.
for Kind of Funny, have been using Honey. It's this extension you use in your browsers that any store you're going to, it automatically just pops up some coupon codes to giving you the best deals you can possibly get for whatever you're trying to buy. Kind of Funny has saved thousands of dollars. I feel like I've personally saved thousands of dollars from Honey. You just set it, you forget it. Next thing you know, you're saving money. The best thing is you don't even need to like apply it per site. It just automatically happens. And there are over 30,000 sites that they're using with this. It's unbelievable how easy this is because I said it probably 6-7 years ago, and I just don't think about it. It just automatically does it, and it scans a whole bunch of things, gets you the best coupons. You can choose which ones you actually want to use because sometimes it'll give you different options of like you can get the percentage or the free shipping or whatever. It's fun stuff. We've been using Honey since the first time we were sponsored by them. Recently, I bought a second round of Kevin bought a second round of Pottery Barn Teen Harry Potter bed sheets. Teen. Wait, I didn't read the teen
It
part.
is. It's
Yeah, it's
kind of
Pottery Barn
upsetting that
Teen.
it's all on.
I don't care. I'll buy it from wherever. You got Harry
Wait, hold,
Potter
hold,
merch.
hold on.
I'll buy-
What do teen bed sheets mean? Like, why? What's
It's
it?
from
it's Pottery
Pottery
Barn
Barn
Teen.
Teen.
It's
Got
a sub.
it.
It's PB Teen.
Okay.
It's a sub subsidiary
Fair,
of Pottery
fair,
Barn.
fair. But the bed sheets, there's no difference. They're still sheets, right?
I know. I just want to throw that in there.
Well, anyway, he got 20% off of these teen sheets. Honey has found over 18 million members, over $2 billion in savings. Not using Honey is literally passing up free money. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks. You can get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/morning. That's joinhoney.com/morning. Next up, I want to talk about Spotify's The Besties, one of Andy's favorite podcasts of all time. You know, we all love all things video games, so that's why we're telling you about this show, The Besties. They talk about video games all the time. Every Friday, the creators of The Adventure Zone, Justin and Griffin McElroy, are joined by their 2 best friends and hardened video game reporters, Russ Frischtick and Chris Plant, to go deep on a single new video game. If you've been a fan of Polygon, you'll know these guys. They co-founded it, and Bam Bam and all the other stuff around that. You guys have heard us talk about this so many different times. The Besties cover all the major moments in video games in 2020, from the new console launches to Cyberpunk 2077. But the Besties can't do it without you guys. You get to write into the shows and all that stuff, and it's free on Spotify. There's nothing better than free. You can find all your favorite podcasts on Spotify, including this, the Kind of Funny Screencast, and all Kind of Funny podcast. But you can also get the Besties exclusively there on Spotify. Listen to the Besties free, only on Spotify. Back to it. I was a little disappointed we didn't get a post-credit scene.
I
On
was
the second
too.
one?
Because we know, at this point, we know we're getting a third.
Yeah.
But I don't know
See-
that there's anything huge to like allude to.
That's really funny because watching them back to back, like I'm happy I didn't get a post scene on this one. Because like the first one, it was like immediately like what the hell is going on, and then we go into the movie and it's like, oh, okay, more's happening with that. But like I wanted to like let it settle and give me some time to like just be like, they're happy, they're having a good time, everything's good right now. I don't have to be stressed about the next movie yet.
The first movie having a post-credit scene and it being what it was made me like that movie 100 times more.
You
than
love
I
post-credit
actually
scenes.
did. I mean, I do, but especially like good ones where it's like that feeds into the story structure so well, where it immediately makes you go like, okay, we solved all these problems. You're on the football field, and it's like, oh, we're
So
petted out, it's
cute.
all good. It's like, no, everything's fucked. You're all fucked. Love is a lie.
And I think that's why they
can't handle
restructured
it.
the books.
Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
The book storyline for these movies. Oh my gosh. Because they wanted to have like, if this was going to be a one-off movie, they wanted to have closure to it. And then they could have some tie-in to a
tease, yeah.
sequel, hoping.
Oh, they left the door
that it
open
would
for
do it.
sure. What I'm excited about is the idea, what you explained for the third one, right? And what's cool about this is like you're sort of getting the 3-act structure of high school. The beginning where you're like, oh, you got your first love. That this one really is about that middle of how do you negotiate and navigate the actual the intricacies of having that first relationship and dealing with the knowledge of kind of in the back of your head that like, hey, this guy's a little bit more experienced than me, but also this is like a first love and this is not going to last forever. And like, I always find that so fascinating of like, because when I was in high school, you date people, but you're like, this can't last forever. And I remember
Did it feel that way?
for me it did. Because I
I
remember
feel like
thinking
that's
like,
pretty unique.
really? Because I just remember
Yeah, in
thinking
high
like,
school, I feel like everyone's like, we're in this forever, man.
But I feel like you have
100%.
outside
Yeah.
people telling you that like this isn't really
well,
how it works.
but I always had
at
an
least
older
for me.
brother who was in college. Who was like,
Yeah,
that
older
shit
people
forever.
change
My brother
the
was
game.
like, dude, come on, you're gonna go to college, it's totally different, right? And like, and I even had the relationship, and this is what I'm excited about for the third one. I had the relationship that went from I dated a girl from high school into college, and I saw how that dynamic shifted very, very quickly when she went to a different school and I went to a different school, and all of a sudden it was like we'd have nothing in common anymore, and
She was
all of
just
our
somebody you used
relationship
to
was
know.
built around like being in theater in high school together. And now that we're not there, we're just two separate people going two separate ways. And that's what I'm excited about, to see the third act of this story play out, of like there's something so kind of faded and romantic about having that the sunset years of your high school career and being like, our lives are forever going to be like, there is nothing we can do. There is an end point to this. It's going to stop, and our lives will be irrevocably like changed forever, just by nature of graduation.
But maybe they
being
go
a
to the
thing.
same school and everything's fine.
Maybe. And that's
Maybe they
possible.
go to neighboring schools in the same city.
Maybe he goes.
You know?
Maybe he goes to.
I hope so.
Maybe she goes
Kevin
to
can't take it if
Harvard
they don't.
and he goes to fucking
MIT.
Fullerton.
Someone on a lacrosse
Is
scholarship.
Yeah.
MIT near Harvard? Yeah, right?
MIT.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
AEY, MOUSC.
Mass. They're both all in Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's, but I love that time, right? And it's the time that's always so bittersweet whenever you watch a high school drama, like a high school TV show, where you're like, eventually these motherfuckers have to graduate.
I know.
Saved by the Bell, the college years was not as good
Great.
as Saved by the Bell, the high school
But
years, but
here-
eventually it has to end.
I'm excited for the next movie, but like I think I'd be excited for a continuation afterwards too, where it's like I think that like Netflix doing what it's like I don't like
Should it be
I
called To All
understand-
the Boys I've Banged in College?
Jesus.
Oh my God. Yeah,
That'd
dude.
be
I'm
amazing.
with you.
I'd watch it.
I don't think that's not really.
And I want it to be like looking back
God, Nick,
from the future,
Jesus.
and it's Ali Wong.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's
That'd be
future
amazing.
Lana Condor.
Fuck yes, Netflix, watch this.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
I would also. So we're entering the streaming wars now, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, cool. We got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got Disney
Hope
Plus,
it's better
and all
than the
this
Clone
stuff.
Wars.
Here's what I want to go down: High School Musical, the series continues. This finishes out. Then crossover series: Disney Plus and Netflix teaming up
gosh.
for the greatest cinematic event of all time.
Oh my gosh.
That's not how we would describe that.
Lana Condor, dude. She has the singing voice. We kind of got a hint of that.
Yeah,
She wants to be the lead.
Jordan Fisher.
We got. This writes itself.
It's so great.
Have you watched this yet, Nick?
I have not. So I tried to watch the original High School Musical, which I did
Really?
not. Maybe like a year ago, because I think it was on Netflix or Amazon.
Sirens on our end.
And I was like, oh, it's Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this because I love those two actors. And I didn't realize it was like made for TV.
Oh yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
a
this
decom.
is difficult to get through. So I just stopped, full stops there.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been one I would have recommended.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
like my Zac Efron best in Dirty Grandpa. That's my favorite Zac Efron right there.
Not like Neighbors.
Neighbors was good too. Yeah, I mean he's just a charming, lovely.
So you just like him anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Anywhere but singing.
I love him in what was it?
Greatest Showman.
No, the one
No,
where
the
he was
murder
in with
movie.
no, where he goes back and he plays a young Matthew.
Oh, 17 again.
Yeah, 17 again. Great film.
That's really
Joey, I mean, we're going off topic a little bit here, but
Yeah.
with High School Musical, the series,
All right.
we got the trailer for
We
season
did.
2. How are you feeling about this?
I'm a little bit upset that they're not doing High School Musical 2.
I could not
'Cause-
disagree more.
And I
Beauty
get-
and the Beast, baby. Let's
So here's
go.
the thing. I get that they want to branch out from doing High School Musical stuff because that obviously has an end cap to it with only having 3 High School Musical movies. But High School Musical 2 music is so good. But I'm excited.
Just wait till
to get more
season
of it.
3.
Do I need to start from the beginning on this stupid thing?
Yeah.
No, but
Damn.
you
You
can
can
watch
watch it
it
with-
If
without-
you like these movies, you gotta watch this.
You don't
Can I
even have
just
to watch
watch
High
the
School
series though?
Musical.
Yes.
Okay, so I can just
Yeah,
start with the
yeah,
Disney Plus
I-
series.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
I can
I'll just
attest
start
to
with
that. I've never seen any of those movies, and I had a really fun time watching that
But
show.
then I feel like someone's gonna be like, "Whoa, you just don't understand."
No,
fucking
there's
industry
like-
because you didn't watch
They
the one
use the
Zac
High School
Efron was in.
Musical
Like,
stuff
everyone-
so minimally.
He's the one that always.
No, he's going to be so
excited.
excited you're in.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I want you in, dude.
Speaking of shows, I just want to give a shout out to a show that has another amazing High School Musical, Sex Education. The second season ends with Romeo and Juliet, like an intergalactic space musical
Love it.
version of it,
Love
where
it.
everything is dick tentacles. Because the girl it's all about these hypersexualized like high school kids trying to figure out their sexuality, and one of them's directing the show, but it's like fucking crazy and vaginas and dicks everywhere. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
It's my type of life.
Oh my gosh, so
Big
good.
fan. Big fan. Any closing thoughts on this All Out Boys business?
Definitely watch it if you give it a if you have a significant other, sit down, order yourself a round table pizza with extra red sauce, and just watch the shit out of both these movies. They're delightful.
Shit out of
They're delightful. They're actually well written for young adult, and I think they have themes that appeal to older people as well. And you'll remember your first love when you watch this, and it'll be very endearing.
Speaking of the writing, something that I did enjoy a lot is their use of swear words, which I think was minimal enough, but like it felt realistic. And like I like that we're just at a point that we can see high school kids talk like high school kids.
Yeah.
It's like we're so rarely like this movie wouldn't have existed in theaters in the 90s or 2000s being able to like get away with the things that they say in this.
Yeah.
And it's not like it crosses the line and is like, egregious, but it just makes it feel much more
Accurate.
relatable, much more accurate, much more real, and like the way that these characters kind of talk to each other. For the most part, I'm like, I buy it. You're actual high school.
It's not like
kids.
Dawson's Creek where you're like, who the fuck wrote this? Of like, doesn't make any sense. But I agree. I really like the music that they use in all of these too. Like, it's really good, and the fact that they use Blackpink when she's like getting ready to go to the lacrosse game,
fucking Blackpink,
which is like
dude.
a
Keeps coming
big
up everywhere.
K-pop.
Keeps coming up. The Flash, big fan of Blackpink.
Blackpink
Really?
from
What?
Justice League. Yeah,
Justice
he was
League.
playing the video.
Wow.
And then and shout out to Netflix, right, for giving them enough budget to actually go out and get decent
Actual
music.
license.
Now,
Yeah.
here's my thing. The licensed music is great. I downloaded the soundtrack on Spotify.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I've
bro.
been jamming. Sophie Tucker, shout out to you. But the score is trash. It's
it?
trash. It is generic ass.
I haven't even.
See, I don't
done it.
even
it's,
think
and
about
that's
it.
the YouTube level stuff where it's just like it is so like corny ass like sitcom stuff. Like, what are you doing with this,
Oh,
man?
Yeah, I only care about the soundtrack stuff because even the
The
first
sound
one's
of
really
it
good.
is legitimately dope, but you can tell it's like all the budget went to licensing stuff, which is probably
That's
a
great.
smarter
Yeah,
call.
That's
Yeah.
what you do. 'cause
But
those
it just
moments grab you.
makes it feel
I mean, they
cheaper.
started off. I forget the name of the band, but they started off with that song from Adventures of Babysitting.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a very popular song back in the day. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine that was cheap to get, but
Yeah.
good for them.
Closing thoughts, Kev Dog.
I really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited for 3, and I really hope it doesn't end with them breaking up, going to different schools, because it's going to break my heart. Unless they somehow make a 4th one where it's like,
I like
now
this pitch.
they've all explored stuff, sure.
Yeah, what's the name of the what's the name of the woman that wrote the books?
Jenny Han.
Jenny Han. You can use that title if you want to all the boys I banged in college. Go for it. Write it. But I want to write the foreword. That's all I want. Let me write the foreword.
Oh man!
Ask me what the forward would say.
No,
Ask me what the
nobody
forward
asked
said.
What would the forward say,
It
Nate?
would be me recommending a movie called The Duff, which is another great young adult
Oh my
movie
gosh.
that I fucking
Mae
love.
Whitman?
It's so funny.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's great.
Out now on streaming platforms. Netflix. We got Starship Troopers.
Ooh,
classic.
great Paul Verhoeven
There
movie.
we go. Amazon Prime. We got a new Amazon original series coming February 21st called Hunters.
That's the one where they're hunting the Nazis.
The Nazis. It's with Al Pacino. Hooah! As a Jewish
Nazis.
Man. Yeah. Nazis.
Hulu. We have Super 8.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if you want to
I
watch
like
that.
Super 8.
Solid.
You didn't
I
like
never
it?
saw it.
It's fine.
Joey, you weren't here last week, but
It was him ripping off Spielberg.
What's that Bernadette movie?
Where'd you go, Bernadette?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Oh, that's
So,
exciting.
yeah.
Let me
I
ask
like
you a
the
question
book.
before he continues. You watch The Expanse?
It's just so much.
Okay,
I love The
I had you.
Expanse.
I remember you recommended
The
it.
Expanse
Someone
is
else.
so
I
goddamn
was,
good.
I think that I was listening to another review where people were like, if you want to see really good deep sci-fi, watch The Expanse. I
It's
think I'm
so
gonna get into
good.
it.
Yeah, it's
on
phenomenal.
Amazon?
It's slow and they throw a lot of it. Yeah, Amazon Prime. They throw a lot of information at you, so it's like you're gonna get in there and be like, "What the fuck are they saying?"
Yeah.
But you learn that like, oh, that's a derogatory term for someone that like was born on an asteroid.
Because I'm wading
Yeah.
through Picard right now, and
Yeah.
I'm liking it less and less. Unfortunately,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm waiting for it
It's
to all
not-
come out and then just.
Binge it.
It's an overly convoluted plot, and it's very much like it's where I feel like the intricacies worked well in Discovery because they had those like one-off episodes that kind of built like their bottle episodes, and then they went back to the main plot.
Yeah.
And everything kind of built in itself.
Yeah.
This one just meanders for the first 3
Interesting.
episodes, and I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to lose faith that this is
Oh,
a good
no.
series. I
Damn
know
it.
it sucks.
Yeah, like The Expanse though has a lot of information being thrown
That's
at
fine.
you, so you got to sit there and pay attention. But it's
Okay.
worth it.
I can do
It's
that
very
occasionally.
Game of Thronesy in the sense of that, like something is happening in the background, and you got to really try to figure it out. And it's crazy.
I'll watch it.
Out in movie theaters near you, we got The Call of the Wild, a.k.a. Harrison Ford is old and likes dogs.
He does. It's true.
Hate
Creepy
Star Wars,
looking
though.
dogs. Y'all see
Hate
this
Star
shit?
Wars.
The Force Ghost quote?
Yeah.
No.
Someone was like, USA Today did an interview with Harrison Ford. It was like, hey, in Rise of Skywalker, are you a Force Ghost or like a Vision or something? And he goes, I don't know what the fuck a Force Ghost is, and I don't care.
Oh
I
god.
absolutely love it.
A question for you, Tim. Who hates their franchise more? Does Harrison Ford hate Star Wars more than Robert Pattinson hates Twilight, or the other way around?
It's a different type of thing.
nobody hates as much as Robert Pattinson hates.
I don't think Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. I just think he's completely ambivalent to it. I think he just doesn't care about it. I think he realized back in the day that's what launched it. Because you have to remember, Harrison Ford, out of all of the original actors,
Has an actual career.
the best career by a fucking mile, by a wide margin.
Shout out to The Fugitive.
Where like Mark
So
Hamill,
good.
God bless him, did a lot of great work. But like Harrison Ford's fucking Indiana Jones, The Fugitive, fucking Jack Ryan, fucking Get Off My Plane, Air Force One. Are you giving me?
Air Force
Are you
One.
fucking kidding me, bro? He doesn't give a shit
review.
about Star Wars. That shit was years ago.
Can we do that?
I want to do a live trailer reaction right now because speaking of out on streaming platforms, this is a TV show coming up on FXX.
Okay.
Don't
heck
even
is
know
that?
what channel that
FXX
is.
That's the one where they
is-
only play The Simpsons.
Is it
Yeah.
like FX2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting real deep. But the show is coming March 4th.
Oh,
It's called
interesting.
Dave,
Yes.
starring Lil Dicky. I haven't
Good
seen
for you,
this.
Dick.
Is it
Dickie.
related to the
So
movie, Dave?
let's check it out.
No, I doubt it.
I hope so.
Great movie though.
I know, right?
This is the one. I love this one. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm going in there and I'm gonna make dreams come true.
Can we restart this?
Please don't kick the chairs.
I didn't kick it. You have chairs in the middle. Dude, this is the one. I love this one. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm going in there and I'm gonna make dreams come true.
Please don't kick the chairs.
I didn't kick it. You have chairs in the middle of a room.
You need to wear glasses like you used to. You're a lot cuter then.
Turn the mic on.
I love this. This is great.
I'm all in.
This is great.
Dicky in here. Little Dicky.
Little Dicky, holy shit, man.
Why you call yourself Little Dicky? You got a Little Dicky?
It's never even grown at all since I was a child.
Do you realize that I'm dating a rapper who I've never heard rap out loud? Will you rap for me right now? Oh my God, rap for me.
Look. No.
YG, Lil Dicky.
What up, man? Good to meet you. I'm calling because I'm about to access my bar mitzvah money, and I thought you should know.
Are you crazy? What, David? You haven't made a single dollar off of
I
this.
can't profit off of it because it's not my beat. It's just a beat I stole online.
You stole it? Wait a minute. What? Did you steal it?
Oh my God.
Kids, look at him.
I'm a once-in-a-generation artist who just got verified on Twitter.
I'm glad you feel
Oh,
good.
that's
that a
him. That's
robot
Aaron
told you you're
Santino.
worth it.
I look like the back of
Hey,
a
he's fucking
playing
everywhere.
card.
The swag ain't
It's blowing
on
up.
you, it's in you. Like, what is that, peach? You got a lot of heart for wearing that color.
Great.
How exactly would you describe your brand?
Imagine like what 2090 is like, but it's being described by someone who's from 1920.
Okay. Like this?
Do you believe me as a
amazing.
rapper?
Testing. All these rappers in here popping. You talking about, hi, my name is Dave. You should be like, what's up? It's Lil Dicky.
It's gonna be the biggest name in hip hop.
Oh, this is weird.
It's not weird, everyone does this. Dude, are you sick? I'm Lil Dicky.
Are you sick?
Kill this shit. What are we doing, straight face,
Man,
smile?
take the picture.
You did the Lil Dicky thing. Appreciate that.
Nah, that's some gang shit. Man.
Gang shit. I'm doing Crip every time I do a Lil Dicky thing?
Oh, fuck yeah, Hulu.
Oh, shit.
You
All
guys
right.
watch it.
Let's
That
go.
looks really good.
Yo,
I have
man,
FX.
That
because
looks
I'm old.
great.
That speaks to my core.
I could be mistaken, but I think one of his friends or whatever is like one of the kids from Odd Future, and that excites me a lot.
That's awesome.
This
Shout
looks
out to those
great.
kids.
Hell yeah,
And
man.
good for
Can't
him.
Good
wait.
for
Yeah.
him.
If you
Good
don't know
for
who
him.
Does that
Lil
have a
Dicky
date
is,
on it?
fuck off.
March
Go
4th
support him.
is
Oh,
what
right
I
around the
remember.
corner.
Yeah. So
But it's
cool-
week to week
cool
release, I'm
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Next week's bronze topic is what are you watching? This week's bronze topic was give your review of all the boys I've loved before, but y'all motherfuckers didn't watch it.
Also change the schedule
Shocker.
around real
Yeah.
quick.
But next week's topic is what are you watching? Let us know. Write in. Leave your questions, comments. Get those concerns.
Is
the
anybody
fuck
watching
outta here.
McMillions?
No.
By the way?
McMillions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started last weekend.
Oh, it's so good.
Are you familiar with this?
Mm-mm.
Apparently, you know the McDonald's Monopoly game that they did in like the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Apparently, there was one, the FBI figured out there was like one family that just kept winning it. And they're like, they're basically like, there was 3 people that won it and that they originally discovered. And they were like, they were all related. And they said they do the odds, the actual statistical probability of that happening is like winning it. One person is like 1 in a million. The second person in the same family winning it is like 1 in 150 billion or something like that. And the next one's like 300 trillion possible. And they're like, there's no fucking way these
I
guys
love
all
it.
did this.
That's awesome.
And it's like, there's a crazy ass conspiracy shit happening.
It's real
great.
good.
It was real.
HBO.
It really
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
Do you ever think we could crowdsource it? You know?
You
What's
could.
that?
We could win it?
You had to go
I don't
with
think
us.
so.
Not us.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
no
I'm
way.
saying, like, reach out there.
I feel like we go the opposite way. We brute force it, just only eat McDonald's for every meal.
I like it.
All the time.
I like this. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
That was just me and
Not a
Housekeeping.
school policy.
We had so many railroads, but not the last one.
Yeah,
Never
no,
the last
exactly. No one ever got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today for this beautiful, kind of funny screencast. Ladies and gentlemen over there, thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you for
Until
hosting.
next time. What's your sign off on this one?
Go watch and I'd say some movie. Like,
Go watch some movie.
okay.